From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, an unidentified woman was reportedly shot by Alaska State Troopers during an altercation last evening.
Troopers received a report that a woman had pointed a gun at another woman at a home off of Dale Road.
That's right. After the victim phoned authorities, she reportedly fled from the residence.
Now, according to a release, this female suspect was shot multiple times by two troopers and taken to the hospital for what were described as non-life-threatening injuries.
Now, the residence was reportedly close to the start of the Iditarod, so authorities worked through the night to avoid interference with the race.
Troopers say the two women knew each other, and it did appear that both had consumed alcohol.
Now, the names of the troopers involved are being withheld for 72 hours per department policy.
The investigation is continuing.
In other news, after more than a decade, the last great race on Earth returned to the Golden Heart City. Now, for the second time in its 43-year history, the official start of the Iditarod Trail sled dog race took place here in Fairbanks. With a stiff breeze out of the west and temperatures hovering around zero, busloads of interior residents made their way out for the 10 a.m. start in front of Pikes near Airport Way. One by one, 78 teams cruised through a gauntlet of boisterous Iditarod fans en route to Nome, some 1,000 miles down the trail. The restart was moved from Willow to Fairbanks due to a lack of snow and warm temperatures in South Central. Drivers and fans alike expressed excitement with the second ever Fairbanks Iditarod restart.
Because I'm old and it might be the last time in my life it starts here, so I want to see it now while I can.
It was great because I got to skip school. So I got a guarantee from my parents, and I have a teacher giving me extra credit to skip school.
This is dog mushing weather, fresh snow and zero and hopefully below zero temperatures down the river. It's perfect.
Yeah, Iditarod was smart. If you ask me, they'd be having their race in Fairbanks every 3 years. I think it really adds a special dynamic to this race. This race was started for the native people, and we're going to be in native country this whole race.
I think maybe they ought to really consider every other year, because I've been in a lot of starts and a lot of finishes. This start is probably one of the better ones. The idea that they have that trucked in snow in Anchorage and then they have to go all the way to Willow doesn't make sense.
Thousands gathered to watch that official restart of the Iditarod, but thin ice on the Chena River proved to be more dangerous than many thought. As onlookers cheered on the sled dog teams, two snow machiners fell through the ice. The crowd rushed to help the two teenage girls who were submerged in the frigid river. Now, luckily, they were able to be pulled from the area they fell through and brought to safety. Officials say it's important to be careful when on the river, especially with the unseasonably warm temperatures.
For one little girl, the Iditarod isn't just an amazing experience, it's also a dream come true. Stephanie Woodard explains in this report.
I've always loved dogs, huskies and malamutes and stuff like that especially.
That's why when Allie McCune, a little girl suffering from cystic fibrosis, made a wish with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, she knew exactly what it would be.
I remember when I read the story Balto when I was little. It's like, I was like, oh, people could actually ride sleds with dogs pulling them. When I found out I got to make a wish, even when I was 7, when I found out, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Allie wished to be able to experience the Iditarod race.
2, 1, go! Dakota, that is Heidi Sutter at the last great race on Earth.
Thanks to the foundation, that wish came true. Allie was able to bring her friend to Alaska, who says she's a positive person in her life.
She's really nice, and she's always happy and energetic, and she's almost never sad. Like, I think I've only seen her sad like once.
Allie was able to ride in the ceremonial start of the Iditarod with Heidi Sutter and then travel here to Fairbanks to watch the official start with thousands of onlookers. If there's one thing she knows, Allie says,
I am definitely going to be a musher when I grow up after this experience.
I'm Stephanie Woodard reporting. Very special little wish there granted.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a surprise coming later in the newscast.
We sure do.
All right, when we come back, the Fairbanks Watercolor Society held their 16th annual Water Media Show last Friday.
Also, the Westmark Hotel was the scene for the annual wedding showcase featuring more than 70 vendors and hundreds of participants. These stories plus more when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Police are asking for help in a hit and run involving a bicyclist. On Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 4, a man crossing the road at the intersection of Rewack and Washington Drive on a bicycle when he was struck by a pickup truck. The 38-year-old male was treated at the hospital and did not want to be identified. He did report that he's glad his injuries weren't worse and that he had to replace the tire on his bike. Fairbanks police are asking for the public's help identifying the hit and run driver. So far, they have few details to go on.
He had a very limited description of the vehicle. He said it was a full-size, dark-colored Toyota pickup truck. He did not get a license plate, and he got just a quick look at the driver. He thought it was a female with longer hair.
Artists at the Ice Alaska Park finished the multi-block ice sculpture contest Friday night. Ryan Grimes was there during the award ceremony. He has the story.
Always remember, the saw is the law, and anybody can carve ice, but not everyone can sculpt it.
The multi-block ice carving competition pitted several skilled and amateur ice sculptor teams against each other for a grueling 6 days of carving, sawing, and shaping blue ice at the Ice Alaska Park.
Pretty crazy. It's actually my very first ice carving competition altogether. So figured start off big, right? Because it's amazing. Being able to work with the big blocks and all that, can't do it anywhere else. A little overwhelming too.
The competition is divided into two categories, abstract and realistic. A two-nation team from USA and Japan secured first place with their work, Fighter. In the realistic competition, the team includes world-renowned ice carver Junichi Nakamura. Second place realistic winner Reverend Butter says it was an honor to go against the man from Japan.
We threw down. We sliced, diced, sacrificed, we killed it. We got second place to the master Junichi, so we're happy, we're content. But it's awesome, it's a great experience. This is what we do for our spring break. A lot of people go to the beach. We go to Fairbanks, Alaska, and we create ice sculptures that we can't create at home at a size that you can't duplicate.
A Russian-Mexican team grabbed first place for their abstract creation, Spirits of the Magic Dance. Competitor Mark Reed says he'd participate in the event again with no questions asked.
I'm from Florida. One of the guys is local, one of the guys is Nashville, and one of the guys lives in Denver. Yeah, I'd like to come back again. It just depends on the rest of the team, but for sure I'd come back.
The Ice Alaska Park is located at the end of Phillips Field Road and is open until the end of March. This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
The Fairbanks Watercolor Society is presenting its 16th annual Water Media Show. The exhibit has more than 55 paintings produced by 30 artists. Over 200 people showed up last Friday on opening night at the White Palms Art Gallery. Now the show will be open to the public Wednesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 14th from noon to 5. All art pieces are still up for sale. One visitor says that Tom Nixon, a watercolor expert, has taught his techniques to many artists in the show and is excited to see their work.
And I enjoyed walking around. I've taken courses from Tom Nixon before, and it's really enjoyable to see some of his paintings. And he has also mentioned many of these watercolor artists' names before, and it's exciting to see their work.
Hundreds of interior residents packed the Westmark Fairbanks Hotel for the annual Interior Wedding Showcase yesterday. 70 vendors and small business owners participated in the showcase, from photographers to jewelers. Thousands of dollars worth of prizes were awarded to those in attendance, with a grand prize worth $1,800 and including a wedding dress from Anderson's bride, flowers, and a photography session. Vendors at the event said they enjoy participating each year, and it's a good place for small business owners to showcase their trades.
Huge, because there was such a big crowd here, and people just went around to every single booth to get checked off. So almost, I would say that everyone here got attention, and like individual attention, which is really cool.
Now, to sign up for next year's showcase, you can contact our offices at KTVF by phoning 458-1801.
All right, Joe Cook is next with more Iditarod coverage. Plus, it's Monday, so we'll have the I-5 tonight.
Joe Cook after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with the weekend recap. But before we start that, we start with the Super Bowl of dog mushing, the Iditarod. The official restart was right here in Fairbanks. It was a sight to see. KTVF was there this morning, bright and early, to capture the historic moments. The official restart for the 43rd Iditarod began at 10 a.m. on Hazelton Road, right in front of Pikes Landing. Thousands of people came out in near zero temperatures with light wind and some snowfall around the start time. Shuttles were filled to capacity and made frequent trips for onlookers and mushing fans. It's just the second time the Iditarod has restarted in Fairbanks in the race's 42-year history. One fan remembers that experience and compares the two restarts.
It's a little more cramped up here by the road, but no, it's about the same. I follow Brent. I went to school with him, so I like to see him do well.
It's awesome. It's our first time. Just seeing everyone get together. It's nice to have everyone come out. The dogs are awesome.
And they are. The dogs and mushers were eager to get it going. The first bib went to honor longtime volunteer Philip Esau, who passed away last May. So leading the field of 78 with the number 2 bib was Rob Cook out of Whitehorse, Yukon. His team of Siberians. Cook is one of 20 rookies in this year's field. Fairbanks resident Jesse Royer was the second musher to lead. Martin Boozer, the 4-time champion, was third. Other notables heading out today were Lance Mackey, the local legend, in the 30th position, 3-time runner-up Allie Zirkle. At bib 32, she made her way on to Nome. The mushers made their way to Nenana, their first checkpoint, which is 60 miles away. The other interior checkpoints are Manly Hot Springs, Tanana, Ruby, Galena, Huslia, and Koyukuk. Current Yukon champion Brent Sass and the Cat in the Hat Hugh Neff talked about this year's Fairbanks restart before heading out on the trail.
I've traveled a lot of this first 200 miles in training this year, and it goes right through Manly Hot Springs, where I go and visit the Redingtons all the time during the season. So the dogs are going to be really fired up when we get to those sections of trail.
I'm going to rock this thing. You know, people like to make fun of me, but usually the people that make fun of me are the ones that never beat me. So I've got a heck of a team, and I just believe, and if you can believe in it, and you know, dreams are possible, that's for sure.
And now one of the big stories from over the weekend was the Alaska Nanook hockey team finishing on top. How about this? First, the Nanooks invade the Sullivan Arena and shut out the Seawolves 1-0 on Friday to end UAA's postseason hopes. Then Saturday, the Gov Cup was on the line in Game 4. The first period went scoreless, but 5 goals were scored in the second period alone, with Alaska jumping out to a 3-0 lead. Taylor Munson started the run, then Trevor Campbell and Josh Erickson added goals. UAA, on their senior night, they would rally to make it a 3-2 contest heading into the third, but Sean Cahill got his second shutout period of the night. Alaska would win 3-2 and force the shootout to determine the Gov Cup winner. Junior assistant captain Tyler Morley scored for Alaska after the Seawolves miss. Cahill, he stones UAA on their next 2 shots, and Alaska wins their 6th Gov Cup. UAF ends the season on a 7-0-1 unbeaten streak, the best in the country.
I mean, that's what we came here tonight for, was the seniors. Send them off right. We played great as a team as a whole. Everyone chipped in, and we just found a way to do it, and it's the best feeling in the world right now.
You know, it's something that usually one team gets to do is finish out as winners, and we had a bad circumstance this year and turned into a good one, and I think it's 6 in a row for us, so it's pretty exciting. So, I mean, a lot of mixed emotions. Plus, in the last hockey game, the last game with this group of guys, so it's just a surreal feeling.
It's really special way to go out. Finish the season for all these guys. It's a great group of guys, so yeah, it's just special, very special.
And finally tonight, even after an eventful weekend, here's the I-5, the interior top 5 plays.
At number 5, the West Valley girls go a perfect 24-0, winning back-to-back MAC titles with a 66-52 win over Lathrop on Saturday, led by Ruthie Hebert's 34-point outburst, but she gets the assist here to Carla Marquez. At number 4, the Hutchinson Hawks punched their ticket to state for the first time since 2012. Xavier Udebe led Hutch with 19 points in a 58-53 win over Galena in the semis. They beat Delta as well to go to state. At number 3, the West Valley boys win their first MAC title in 10 years after beating Lathrop 52-43 on Saturday, led by Daniel Hornbuckler's 20 points. Number 2, Tyler Morley's Gov Cup winning shootout goal on Saturday night to secure Alaska's 6th Gov Cup in Game 4 of the series and the season finale. At number 1, the senior Sean Cahill allows just 2 goals all weekend, makes 36 saves, and shuts out Anchorage in the shootout on Saturday. The Nooks sweep the Seawolves 1-0, 3-2, and win not 1, not 2, but 6 Gov Cups. To vote for the Play of the Week, click on your play on the I-5 poll on Webster11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube posts, and send a tweet to KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The Play of the Week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with once again talking about weather. The calendar says March 9th, but it felt like January 9th today. Temperatures quite chilly for this time of year. We're expecting that pattern to continue in through the weekend. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Let's take a look at our photograph tonight. This one's sent in by Russell Snyder. And yes, there are palm trees in Barrow, Alaska. Well, at least they made wooden palm trees to look like it. That's kind of a cool shot. And again, as always, if you have a photograph you want to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Taking a look at the almanac, 3 degrees right now. That's our high for the day. The low last night, 2 below. Record high in 1949, 50 above. Record low, 44 below in 1911. Your sunrise and sunset works out to about 11 hours and 8 minutes, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite and radar, not a whole lot to talk about. The storm that whipped through the area in the interior over the weekend has moved off to the east. All we're getting now is just a lot of cold air coming in from the northwest, all the way from Siberia. And that's very unusual for this time of year. This system is going to hang in here, it looks like, through the rest of the week. So we're going to be chilly. That's the bottom line. What else is going on across the rest of the state? Well, that storm system is bringing a little shower activity around Juneau, 41 degrees at Ketchikan. Anchorage, 25 degrees, lots of sunshine there. Cool down along the Aleutian chain, only 25 degrees at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, 6 below at Nome. Up at Barrow, it's 17 below. And Fort Yukon at 1 degree above. Lower 48 weather looks like this, and it's pretty quiet for the most part. Finally, things are calming down considerably. Denver at 59 degrees, Las Vegas 77, Phoenix up to 84 degrees. Dallas is at 50 degrees. And last week they were in the teens in Minneapolis, 57 degrees today. Down around the New Orleans area, a little rain shower activity and some rain and snow over the northeast. And as far as the satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of rain shower activity moving across from the deep south. That's about it. The jet stream is way down to the south. In fact, the farthest I've ever seen it in a long time. And we'll show you that in just a little bit. And over the Pacific Northwest, looks like lots of sunshine once again. Very nice weather, high pressure around the Seattle area. And that'll continue, it looks like, into the rest of the week too. There's the jet stream I was telling you about. Look how far down that thing goes down, way down to the south, helping to bring lots of warm air up over the eastern side of the country. And out to the west, it's fairly dry for the most part. So a very quiet weather pattern, something they haven't seen for quite a while. Now back to Alaska for tomorrow. In the northern sections, mostly sunny skies at Barrow and Nome. Scattered clouds expected at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at, for the most part, cloudy early, then some sunshine by afternoon at all 3 locations, Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta Junction. Over the southeast part of the state, we're looking at more rain shower activity with a chance of even some snow in Juneau, but rain and snow possible in the Ketchikan region. And over to the southwest, partly cloudy skies at Bethel, cloudy skies at Cold Bay, and mostly sunny skies for the folks in Kodiak. And if you head on down the Anchorage area, looks really nice. Lots of sunshine for Anchorage. Snow showers are diminishing in Valdez and Homer as we speak. Okay, well, it is a new week and a new time for some kids' weather. This week we visited with the kids from Immaculate Conception School. And today, here's a 3rd grader with a cool story to share with you.
Last winter when I was playing with my brother and I looked out the window, there was a lot of snow and I could barely see Nordales Park. It was really cool and kind of creepy. The clouds were dark and gloomy. It affected me because it scared me a little, and the clouds got darker and darker every time I looked at them.
And thanks again, as always, to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Tomorrow night, we'll have a young lady here with a nice picture to share that she drew about hail. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 17 below, the cold air is definitely here to stay. Cloudy and colder with the snow flurries diminishing. You might see some northern lights later on. Tomorrow's forecast, cloudy skies in the morning, becoming partly cloudy, and the 5-day outlook looks like not much change until finally the weekend, as temperatures will slowly rise back once again to the low teens, with teens below 0. No snow in the forecast, and it looks like a winter time has definitely returned back to the area. And speaking of returning or coming back to our area, we have some guests, right?
We do. We are joined by our Make-A-Wish girl, Allie, and her friend Sophie. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
So, Allie, tell everybody in Fairbanks that is watching what you thought about the Iditarod.
Well, I thought it was great. I mean, it was not once in a lifetime for everyone, but for me, a once in a lifetime experience. We had VIP section seats, I guess you would say, and it was great.
So, the question is, do you really want to be a musher?
Yes, for sure. I've already got plans.
Oh, she's got plans. And will we see you back in Alaska, maybe mushing cheering you on one day?
I'm hoping so.
Awesome. Okay, well, before you guys leave, we want you guys to have some KTVS swag.
Thank you.
So we're home, and we're so happy for you.
Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
very good. And with that, that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, see video of an Amtrak train accident that happened today in North Carolina. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6:11. Online anytime, western11.com.
Woo! We're going to leave you tonight with more scenes from today's start of the Iditarod. Allie, can you read that last line for us?
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.
Yeah.